Lasombra. Make a roll for 5 dice.
Victims? 2 successes.
2. 2. Goose egg, sorry. 3, that's the highest we have so far. Cyran, friend, 1. Lyra, you get a phone call.
Hello?
This low yet feminine rasping voice came in through the other line. It sounded distinctly seductive, yet like it was worn down through the decades of chain smoking. So you were the one that fucked with the circulatory system. I must say, I like your work.
She'll put it on speaker. Can I actually fuck with the location on the phone?
Yeah, sure. Give a let's do wits technology.
Okay. I have a specialty with phones.
Yes, include that in.
5 successes.
5 successes. You can adequately tell that. It is actually, funny enough, it's coming from around the same area that you guys are in. It's coming right from DuPont Circle at that. It's a few blocks down, to be honest with you.
Okay, I'll pull up my notes and type that to everyone and show them.
Yeah, it's specifically with that many successes, you can tell it's coming from the 18th Street Lounge. That's its name.
All right.
Viola is going to send Ajax a quick text. Do you have anyone to send to that? Like she's just going to type it and just text it. And then if Ajax isn't too close to his phone, she's just like, when she just taps hers, like.
He would check his phone. Then text back. What would you like me to do? Send them lap dances?
I'll just.
She checks her phone and the reaction just says everything.
I'll reply like, and who is this?
Oh, yes, my apologies. I didn't introduce myself. My name is Ravenna. How about this? Can some of you give me a wit streetwise for this role? All of you can do it.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, 3 successes.
Have 3.
2.
2. Goose egg. Oh, 2?
No, 4 and a crit.
4. Damn, okay. Ajax, what say you?
I got 2.
2, okay. So at that, you all generally know who this woman is. Some of you know more about her than others. Ravenna is the ministry priestess within DC, from what you know. However, Persephone, because you got that crit at 4 successes, you know that Ravenna has been notoriously neutral since the last civil war within this city. She has helped the anarchs on occasion. However, ever since Vitel has come back into power, she has made it clear that she is clan over sect. That, if anything, the Setites are her sect. And that she doesn't like to get involved at that. Very much in the same position that the Hecata are in within the city. If they were to back someone, it would help change the tides. However, she remains close-lipped. I must say, you killing Katerina Malikova, that was impressive. She was a spirited sort.
Yeah, that's a word for it. Hi, you're on speaker, by the way.
Oh, all of you are here. I'm glad I only didn't get one of you.
She was kind of a monster, actually.
I'm not going to dispute that. everyone knew it. It just surprised me how some startup neonates decided to take her out one night.
Well, I'd say she had it coming.
Not
Big
disagreeing.
time.
Oh, even the Ventrue's here. My, that's amazing.
And she'll say hello in Russian. It's nice to hear from you, darling.
I'm not Russian, I'm Creole, but thank you for that. I didn't need to hear that
well,
tonight.
The accent. Sorry, I couldn't tell the accent. Rose couldn't tell the accent. It's like,
Ajax
well.
would text Viola, so should I be sending a lap dance over after all?
She'll look at her phone and she'll text back. Yeah, definitely.
And
And he does
that
send a
eye
couple of
roll.
escorts over there.
With the eye roll emoji.
Nevertheless, there are kindred that relied on that business of hers. To say that many are a little more than pissed with you would be an understatement.
Are you pissed with us, your priestess?
Quite the opposite, actually. Quite the opposite. I'm impressed.
I appreciate that, but I just am curious why the sudden accolades.
Come down to my club. It's safe. It is neutral territory. If you are all who I think you are, then some of you Toreador should be used to my typical hospitalities, let's say.
I may be Ventru, but I'm very used to Toreador hospitality, as it were.
I'm Setite. We are like Toreador, but unlike them, we actually have a plan.
Yeah, Viola's gonna look over at Ajax.
Forgive me, I forgot to pack my sunscreen.
I don't think that would
missed.
have done you any help at this rate.
It's
There's
just a
definitely not
slight
literacy in this
burn.
group because you just got red.
Slight burn.
Well, I can't turn down such a tempting offer. What about you guys?
I'm
We
all for
already have
accepting
your
Sedite
location. You're
hospitality.
pretty easily trackable, so we'll be right there.
Okay. Please come by. We do have refreshments, and we get them from a vegan source, a more well-intentioned source, to say the least.
Oh, excellent.
See you soon.
Hmm.
At that, she hangs up on you all.
A temptress is a temptress is a temptress.
Boy, howdy.
Thing.
Hmm.
Fortunately for me, I've already got the weird cult that I'm a part of anyway. Praise Cain, my brothers and
What,
sisters.
AARP?
No.
They are a cult. They all carry a card. They get discounts all over the place. I'm just saying.
And they do drive
don't-
taxi.
Flights
Just
to
because
Egypt are
I
cheap.
am old enough to be a member doesn't mean I am one.
Hey,
No, you just
Sure.
work with the former members. and you're-
again, this should be like a saying for the coterie. We don't kink shame here, okay?
You know,
I don't
guess
care
do
how old
work
you
with-
are. It's
I
all
guess I do
good.
work with a lot of them post-mortem.
I got you.
Anyways, I'm still in my club duff. Shall we make our way?
Well, we wouldn't want to leave her waiting.
I
Yeah.
might need a change of clothes if we don't want to unduly alarm any kind that she's keeping around.
Cyran, you know I got
Yeah.
you. I got you.
Whose
I am
office are
worried
you
you're going to
in?
put me in one of those shirts.
What's wrong with these shirts?
They're not really my style.
They worked for Don Johnson.
Mesh
Look how
shirts
famous
are
he
what men
rocked
should be
it, you know
wearing
what I'm
all the
saying?
time.
Yeah. I got you, bro. You're about to go into the club anyway. You could roll up looking like that, but the only attention you're really going to catch is from the scabs of the side rails that are trying to do lines of coke and shit. You know?
Yeah. Besides, if you don't show up in a matching shirt, how are we supposed to look like the cast of Miami Vice?
It's very true.
Right.
Oh,
Don't hate on a
Jesus.
pink
I
Cadillac.
don't really
I'm just
think I
saying.
fit in with that show either. But
I
I don't
think
want to dirty any of the clothes that you have left over.
we should probably change her too, as he points at Lyra. I could call a couple of friends from downstairs to hook you up. Heavy makeup too. Heavy makeup. Probably perfume the shit out of you.
I'll take the perfume, but I don't want to get any of the clothes dirty. You know, my skin.
You can
flakes.
have them. You can have them.
Mm,
Maybe it'll help
I'm
your whole
comfy like-
sitch. I'm just
comfy
saying.
like this. I'm sorry.
I know you're comfy, but in this type of environment, you have to show a little bit of presentation. And if
Okay.
you're going to continue hanging out with all of us and having to deal with these types of issues, we all need to have a certain degree of adaptability with each other's expertise. So,
Ajax,
Wow,
you
I
you
will
wear
make
this.
you a deal.
sure.
The quietest
I'm a deal
shirt
man.
that you have, and I raid the coat closet.
Whatever. I'm here to accommodate, bro. I'm just saying.
Cool. All right. I can live with this. I will need different pants.
Lyra,
We got
why
pants.
Lyra, why don't the bus over there and I go with you? So you have a little bit of a classier touch. How's that?
Eh.
I really don't think I need that. You guys are the ones that are the shining stars and the beautiful
Viola,
women.
can you please straighten
I'll
her
just
out?
I'll just stay in the background, do your tech business.
Am I
stuff.
a shining
Let me put it this
star?
way, Lyra. At the very least, to consider this meeting the employer, you're getting the job interview. I did not wear this on the field. Can you imagine me running around in that building in 6-inch heels? I would have dropped 5 floors.
Maybe
This
4
is
inch.
just
not
presentation on the
6.
field. You can wear
Just saying.
whatever you want.
Not to mention, unfortunately, you'll kind of stick out if we don't get you a change of clothes. If you really want to blend in, we're going to have to make a few small changes, but I promise none of them are permanent.
Venues like this, and we're not going to lead you astray, it's a lot safer to blend in if safety
Ew.
is an issue for you.
We're just trying to help you out.
Alright.
Not lead you astray. We are a group. We are a gang. We are,
An
Lyra will-
entourage. We don't
I
have to
don't
go
know.
with the G word, all right? It's an entourage, all right?
Lyra will do it, but she's still got the flaw ugly, so I don't know if this
That's
is
fine.
actually gonna help.
Hey, that's okay. I have
got
it, and I
hookups.
gave
I'm just
it to
saying, I got hookups.
myself.
I feel that Persephone and Viola would definitely be able to make it work. That it's still off-putting, but it works. And we exchange a look of just like, no, yeah, we've seen this.
Yeah,
This works. You're fine.
got this.
And we would not lead you astray. 100%.
Okay.
Speaking of
It's
Viola,
just,
remind me
it's
to get
just an upscale sweater dress.
They
Speaking
try
of
to.
Viola, remember to get you the number of your tailor. I like your suit.
Oh, thank you. Custom made, of course.
Of course. My tailor is mad at me, considering what I brought into him last time with my ruined suit. So
I mean,
I'll have to find a new
like I
one.
said, I don't wear the nice suit. I wear it for court. I wear it for getting the job. I never, ever wear it in the field. You should get yourself some field clothes, dear. Anyways, to the topic at hand.
Are you making her Clarice from Breakfast Club?
So,
Yes.
what Ajax lacks in being able to throw in a right hook and an uppercut, he does make up for in contacts and connections. He has oh so plenty. One of those heavily is in the adult entertainment industry. So it just so happens a couple of those lovely, luscious individuals would be in the shadow room this evening, and they always bring an extra change of clothes. You never know what could happen. Always an opportunity at paparazzi and catfighting. So if Lyra is brought downstairs, you pretty much have an assortment of a 10 to a 2 as far as high class to whore. So dress her as you will.
As you make your way downstairs to try and beautify our thin blood, you do see a familiar maroon-haired woman down there. Oh my god!
Oh my
please, final death me now.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh God, I didn't think I'd see you guys again. Hi.
Hi.
Oh my
I
God,
knew
like,
this was Ajax's place.
oh my God, like, what are you guys
Forgot.
doing here?
We're giving our friend a makeover.
Oh my God, really? Oh
Mhm.
my God, you're finally gonna look like someone I wouldn't give $1 to on the metro. Let me do it.
Pay no attention to her.
That's
Pay no
okay.
attention
I
to
think
her.
we've got this one handled.
Oh,
I
pretty
know.
please.
Unfortunately, we're aiming for a little bit higher class than I think your normal dress standards.
What do you mean? I dress nice. She's dressed in a t-shirt, high hooker boots, fishnets, and a leather jacket right now.
Mm.
Ready for
I
the
don't-
cage, as
I don't
always.
think I'll ever look as good as you, man. So I'll just let these nice ladies.
Why are you
Figure that
calling
out
me
for me.
ma'am? I'm not that old.
Oh, it's meant as a respectful thing. Sorry.
Can you tell I got filler? He said that you wouldn't be able to tell.
I say give it an extra
Can you
day.
tell?
To set in. Then maybe you won't notice. They might just fall a little set into your face. Just give it a minute.
You're
I did
being
notice you were a
mean.
bit more poutier.
No, I'm being
Oh.
honest. Your cheeks are a little
Let's-
too high. They'll set.
Mm.
These are my natural cheekbones. Amanda Lepore is my icon.
And she is absolutely natural.
I mean,
100%.
You know,
darling.
these lips have secrets. She tries to smile at you at this time, but it seems
Yeah,
like
the secret
she's
is you're on a no-fill list. Gotcha. Okay. Lyra, come on. We have some other things we need to take care of, and then we're on our way. It's a pleasure meeting you again, darling.
I mean, yeah, but I can help. I like having gal pals.
You know that whole expression, 2 heads are better than 1? Well, 3's a crowd, so don't mind us.
3's never a crown. I have 3 all the time.
Ajax
definitely-
would hook an arm in Raina's and turn her attention away and lead her away and go, speaking of head, I got somebody that you need to meet over here.
Oh my God.
Well, I told you I'd hook you up, right?
I didn't know I got to see him after the show.
And he points at a table where there's a certain grouping of a local football team. And those gentlemen would love to meet you.
I
And there's
typically
definitely
don't go
more than
after
3 of those.
I don't typically go after little boys, but fine, whatever.
With very, very huge wallets.
You know what? One of their hair does look like pastrami. I guess I'll try it out.
You got to do what you got to do, honey.
If something else might look like pastrami, you should go find that.
And as he's leading her over, he's like looking over his shoulder at the other two, like, please hurry up.
She goes ahead and walks off, scampers off. It's like, you told me I would get a few bones. I'm waiting.
Oh, you're going to get a few bones, honey.
And
What bones
people
do you
say they
want?
don't appreciate hookers. Anyways, let's go get you all dressed up. We really don't want to keep the high priest waiting too long.
I mean, right?
Oh, can already feel the headache.
Mm.
So there is a backstage area where you could take her to get changed. There is a coat room, or there is Ajax's office. So you are free to use whatever.
Well, if
So
you want to
probably-
take her in the back to get started on her physical appearance, I can head to the coat room and see what he's got in there.
Are you trying to
Good
make
start.
her look pretty? Are you trying to beautify her?
Presentable.
Presentable.
Presentable that she doesn't stand out as a walking corpse.
We don't
Okay.
work against
A little
the
makeup
ugly
here, a little
with the
outfit
ugly.
there, you know.
Oh,
How about
fuck!
this?
You're gonna make me blush, aren't you?
Let us do a let's do a charisma performance, since you are trying to pass this off as something she is not.
Who
You
would you
guys
like
can add
to roll that?
If you guys want to try and add to whoever's going to roll this, that you can add to their dice by 1.
I've got 7 dice, so if anyone wants to add to me,
Hang on. I'm gonna see how much I got because I got.
I mean, I could
pretty
definitely
good
add.
performance as well. I can definitely add for you for sure because I have the same amount.
Okay, so if you two are going to try and add, you can add 2 dice to your roll.
Me?
Yes.
Shabam.
This
Project
really is-
Runway, that shit.
This is Breakfast Club.
Sure.
Are you guys going to start smite?
5
They're-
success.
5 successes. 5 successes. You do manage to make her look like Clarice from the Breakfast Club.
Oh my god.
She is not smizing yet, but she is on her way there. She is in a dress that is clearly something that is not what she's typically used for. It's flowing, it's white. It looks like something she would wear at maybe a nice fancy lounge or even a nice little bar around the area. You've managed to put her hair up into a messy bun to take away from the fact that it's balding a bit. A little bit of, yes, Lyra.
Basically bald.
Oh, okay.
She's got like tiny patches of hair.
Well, it's
You can
not
put her in a
a
head
wig.
wrap.
It's falling off.
Well, it's not a
we
wig.
embrace the, or we just go embrace the bald.
Well, or
We just shave that shit.
do you want a wig? Do you want a wig?
like she's got like sores and patches and like
Okay,
You
we're
know.
putting a wig on that.
It's not a wig. It's
I think
her
we're gonna
hair.
wig that shit.
it's
We
even
got
on her
plenty of
face,
bitches
like
who got wigs up in there.
Well,
big
it's not
wound
a-
on her lip, you know.
You need to cover it. You can always come find Cyran.
Oh, or would you like to get an assistant?
You are more than welcome.
Actually-
Lyra, I
actually-
don't
For the
want to
sake
take
of
away
time.
your autonomy. Do you
How
want
about-
to get instituted at this point?
Oh my god.
No,
No. Okay. So,
it won't work. She's just constantly decaying. So
well, with that being said, it's not a wig. It's your hair.
okay.
So you find a nice, luscious, I don't know, what color wig do you put on this poor girl?
Okay. She's pale, so let's go blonde. It's always a safe bet.
I was
Platinum
gonna say-
blonde wig on her.
Platinum
and,
blonde, at the very least, they'll mistake her for albino. She looks great. She looks great.
and you do
She looks
put a little
great.
bit of makeup on her, managing to cover up all the sores and bruises and the dead
A
look
lot
on
of fucking
her.
makeup.
Yeah, you do manage to cover that up. She looks presentable now.
Yeah, we just put like a little bit concealer like right here. So we're good.
She's looking better now.
You
So-
know, it might not be your
Sensible,
cup of tea, but you're not half bad.
She doesn't look actively. So for right now, your ugly trait, you're not beautiful. but
Ugly
you're
tree.
not- You're not ugly now. So, what say you? How do you like your makeover? How do you like your pimp your thin blood makeover?
Lyra's kind of just shocked. Like, I've never looked so good. Thank you. I don't
You're
know how
welcome.
long this will last, and I don't know if I can upkeep it because that's
Come back anytime.
layers upon layers of makeup.
I was
Oh,
my
hang
gosh,
on. I
you
think I
guys,
need to move my
Persephone,
cheekbones
Ajax.
up.
I feel my heart growing. I have a pulse. I'm alive again. It's a
Oh,
miracle.
Sarah, you make me
Hallelujah.
smile
Anytime.
so much.
Anytime you call assistant, we'll schedule a time to help you get this all back together. I'll teach you all the
Yeah,
tips and
it'll be
tricks you need
alright.
to know. Okay?
We got
I'm
you.
impressed you
this.
can still do that. Like, can you do that to yourself, or do you need assistant to do it?
What,
'cause
call?
you can't see in a mirror, Persephone, right?
No. It's
Yeah.
all muscle memory, babe.
Huh.
I'm only really doing this for you guys to not embarrass you in front of this lady. So
Well,
That's okay.
it's
I
a
guess we
start.
should head out.
Yeah.
Well, you called yourself pretty, so you do appreciate it as well, do you not?
I mean, beauty isn't the best quality I look for in people, but that's quite all right. I know it matters. to you
In the
people.
famous words of Marilyn Monroe, being a girl being pretty is like a man being rich. You wouldn't necessarily marry a man because of his money, but by goodness, doesn't it help?
I guess so.
I thought she said happy birthday.
Well, that too, but
Just saying.
You clearly haven't seen Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, Ajax. You need a
Boom.
movie night. Anyways.
You
Classic.
walk out. you manage to see Rada waving at you over from the side. It's like, oh my god, you're just gorgeous. Have I met you before?
It's me. It's Lyra.
Oh my god, it's
Don't you recognize my dog?
God.
Honey, we gotta go. And he reaches in his pocket and he pulls out a napkin. He's like, you got a little shit right here too. So you better clean that up.
I mean, it's nothing
You-
like playing
you
the
are
palace. I would
Gorgeous,
like
you know that shit? Like
I mean, I would like
grabbing her by
to-
the cheeks, like
I mean, I would
Go.
stop. She like
You got
tries
this,
to
you got
slap
this.
your hands away from your face, and it's like, I like to play the palace with
oh, you play it.
Lyra.
You play it like a fiddle, girl.
She like, as you like try to distract her, she's like waves over to Lyra like you all make your way out. So how are you getting over 18th Street? You can walk, you can drive.
When you say a
That
couple of
might-
blocks, is it like walkable in a decent amount of time, or is it
10,
something
15,
like
10,
there's
10.
decent traffic? So
No, I mean DC traffic.
nah,
Uh,
we could take a quick cab, but it is walkable.
You hear an audible no, and pulls up her phone and says, "James,
Yes,
we'll need
ma'am.
to pick, we'll need to pick up, please."
I love to do that to her.
Of course.
what's going on, James?
Hey,
James will be on the way
Ajax.
momentarily. He's just around the block.
Oh, I thank you so much, Viola.
Oh yeah, if we're gonna make an
Very
entrance, we're gonna make it a car. We're not gonna walk or use a
Oh,
cab.
speaking of which,
What is this,
I
New
would like
York?
to rouse to heal up a little bit.
Of course, of course. I don't think you want to go see Ravenna
No,
looking like.
I gotta be pretty.
Oh, but that
And
goes
I
to
fail.
devil can make hair.
To
look.
hunger.
Oh, okay. Do you want to try? You only have 3 superficial. You could get to a hot 4 hunger if you wish.
I mean, it still succeeds, but I'm a little
Yeah. But
yeah.
I mean, we're gonna
Okay.
get.
I
Fat.
would have offered you some medical attention, but I figured you guys can do that yourselves.
Yeah, it doesn't
Learning.
really work that way for us.
Yeah. I mean, we were offered, drinks when we get there, so he should be able to take care of that all right.
Yeah. Well, you got to be careful about that too. Again, she likes to sling shit over the phone, but if you call us close to kind, they like to tempt kind a little too much. So I would keep an eye in the back of all your heads.
Anything, Lyra? You're sort of the one we definitely.
You are
like to count
definitely
on
the
for sure.
closest to kind.
Have you ever encountered anybody besides us as far as full kindred?
Not exactly. I think we all know the same kind of people. I probably know far less than you.
We don't know the same kind of people, honey.
All right.
Well,
No offense.
How
But
do I
within this
explain-
working kind of situation, I
How
suppose.
do I explain Setites?
sure.
Do they still have televangelists?
They do, but if you want, you can explain it to her if you wish. Would you like to roll a charisma occult or anything of the sort to try and get your point across?
Oh, good God,
I'll take
charisma occult.
I'll take
Yes.
I will take suggestions if you wish.
intelligence and politics.
Sure, whatever you want. Have fun.
Well, I'm
I'm
not
enjoying
looking
this.
for their
The-
mystical end, just their social end.
Well, this pulls up. Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
You
Do
know what I
that.
mean?
While you do this, the car pulls up. He opens the door for you all. You all can continue the conversation in the car. I'm not going to cut that off. This is entertaining.
Yeah.
Four.
By the way,
Or
Viola is the last one to get in the vehicle, and she's just like, by all means.
the dog is with you. By the way, is with Lyra. By the way, so just
And if even Viola's just like, who's a good boy?
Lyra's petting him and getting hair all over the nice dress that she put on.
Persephone is thanking God she brought a lint roller. So
As is Viola, who actually, I'm pretty sure they pulled them both out at the same time. It's like, girl,
we
we are ready.
both give each other looks like we're gonna have to hold her down.
You hold her down, I'll go nuts.
Cyran, what say you? How many successes you got?
Oh, all right.
Because it seems like you and Ajax are going to team up in trying to explain what Setites are to Lyra.
Also 4.
Okay, you
4
guys
on
are,
charisma occult.
you guys know what you were talking about clearly. Go ahead, speak some truth to power.
Persephone just watches on in amusement of this whole conversation.
Would you care to go first?
Yeah, sure. All right. So, do Kind still have televangelists? I don't really watch.
Probably down
TV.
south-ish.
Anyway, yeah, they're kind of like that. But they're like the spooky L. Ron Hubbard kind. I mean, they're all kind of spooky as far as I'm concerned, but like the really spooky kind. I'm
Well,
also
culty?
extremely culty. Look, they rebranded. They're not the followers of Set anymore. They're the Ministry of Love, which doesn't really make them less culty, if you ask me personally, as someone in a cult.
It's a little harder to pick them out, too.
Anyway, point being, they're tempting people is kind of their whole thing. Like, that's why their real hardcore culty ones think they're vampires in the first place, is to tempt people.
Yeah. And
they really like not just tempting the Kind, they also like tempting kindred. And they're also really good at it. Like,
yeah.
How do I describe? So I'm pretty familiar with some of their esoteric practices and the way their blood works. Let's just say that some of the stuff that they do that others can't really do, they call serpentis. Like they, to a degree, they don't really hide the fact that they do this. They are sneaky cult people.
Well, don't you think that I should have just stayed in my normal clothes?
No, absolutely.
Because now I look pretty irresistible to these people. And
it isn't about being irresistible.
I was never flirted
honey.
with before.
You don't have to. It's about appearance, because they can target you just as well for looking your previous way, and especially when they find out that you're thin blood, which I don't even know if we should mention that.
Oh yeah, keep that on the down low.
That you could become a heavy target for experimentation. And much like my cohort explained, they have a different type of mysticism. I don't know too much about it. I could tell you in the public circles of popular opinion, again, they don't have a problem trying to fuck with kindred. And I've seen multiple kindred be taken in by their, let's call them wiles. Promise things be put up on a pedestal and then just be dropped like sack shit. So we are looking to make sure you're not taken advantage of at the very least. So definitely try to use common sense.
Yeah, the goal is not trick them. It is do not be tricked yourself.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, well, I was just trying to make a joke, make it light.
Yeah.
It didn't really land.
So we're just trying to make sure you're staying safe, even though we know you can handle yourself, obviously, to a certain degree, but you haven't encountered kindred like this before. I'm not calling myself an expert, but just be on the lookout.
I kind of know I'm the weak link when it comes to social situations. I'll let you guys do most of the talking.
Have you
I'm
met
also,
me?
I'm also going to say this. I mean, Lyra, you're pretty clever in your own right. I'm got faith in you. You'll be able to take care of yourself. If anything does happen, though, we are close by. Just yell and we will find you. All right?
Okay.
But you are clever. I'm giving you definitely the benefit of the doubt. You will be just fine.
All right. I'll stick close by just in case.
Perfect.
Now then, let me just attack you with this limp brush. Excuse me.
Oh, I always forget that this happens. Like, I just kind of live in the hair now.
What kind of
It's
color
like lonely
is-
people glitter.
Like, what kind of, or actually,
I've
what color
never
fur
heard it
is your
called that
dog's?
before. Wow. I think I'm going to use that.
I wonder if there would be any adverse effects if I just stopped his hair from growing. If you'd let me do that.
As you say that, the dog growls slightly at you.
I think the adverse effect would have your face being bitten off by this dog. So
It'll grow
I
back.
like
It's not like he can't
being
fix it, though.
Just
Just saying.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just saying
Normally
that's a
doesn't
lot of
do that
extra
to
work for
people.
him.
We, as a rule, to which you are an exception, so congrats on that. Animals don't like us.
Well, I don't know. He's always liked me, even when I
Yeah.
did change.
That's what I'm saying. You are an exception to that rule.
Yes.
Judging by the sores and that, I have theories about your sire, but they're theories.
I have no idea who did this to me.
Cyran,
You might
But
not
it
want to know.
Certainly wasn't my choice. I was ready to die.
Interesting.
Also,
Most
as
definitely.
an aside, Cyran, you also know that the one clan that is very close to animals is also Clan
Yeah,
Gangrel.
Also, yes, but the Nosferatu have animalism.
That as well. That as well. That aside,
That's
you all managed to make your way to the 18th Street Lounge. As usual, it is, ritzy, filled with people. It was dead set within Anarch territory, so it wasn't like you were going into enemy territory for the night. You all were seemingly safe. The lounge, however, was a ritzy and uppity place, filled only with politicians, trust fund babies, all sorts of celebrities of the like. Yet, the place was such a staple of DC nightlife. Getting in was the problem. Hardly anyone could get in. Only individuals of a certain social and fiscal caliber could manage to break their way in, and if you didn't know a guy, that was tough luck. The closest you could get to a peek inside were pictures on Google. Yet you were being let in by some mysterious figure that none of you even had a semblance of a clue about, or maybe you did. You knew that this was one of the hangouts for the Setites. If you are some people within this coterie, you might even have a friend who is a member of the ministry. Not going to say who. However, with that being said, you are stopped at the door only to have someone whisper in the guard's ear that this is Ravenna's people. Only to have him nod and ease out of the way. Yet, with that being said, even you all knew that while this club was considered neutral grounds, you knew that this was one of the strongholds for the ministry within the city. Even though security ran rampant, and there was more kind than kindred. The lounge was understood to never be attacked. It held too much weight culturally and would cause an uproar if it just so suddenly disappeared. As you make your way through, the dazzling lights of the nightlife encompass you fully. The lights in the club morph into this sheer plethora of old European-esque mansions and, in architecture with flags, statues, and decor that seems representative of their respective countries. You all managed to pass by during your talking. the embassies that had antiquity. Norway, England, Brazil, India, many others as well. Small moments like these, the bubble that was DC managed to seem older than what it was. It wrapped itself in the skin of lavish regimes and eras long past, yet still grabbed from them and made it their own. It was something beautiful and vast in small crevices of the city that oddly weren't even entirely its own. You can see the line is crawling through the next block. The ritzy and lavish people, clearly irate and frustrated at the security that you so seemingly passed by as you were on the list. As you approach, the balding security man looks you up and down, seemingly uncaring, but he realizes who you are. He takes down the velvet rope, allowing you all in. As you walk around, you can see this swank and old interior filled with bodies upon bodies of people. All of them had this ethereal glow, but were nothing but happy and seemingly without one care in the world. It seemed almost like an era long gone. The furnishing and staff cemented this to you, and truth be told, even the soft chime of music in the background with this mix of jazz and contemporary classical music, it all became clear to you why this place stuck around for so long. What are you thinking as you enter?
Let's see. My, this is a very nice setup.
A true testament to the DC elite.
This looks like my grandsire's place.
Smells like oil.
Yeah, Lyra's just like keeping her body close, trying not to like smell bad.
You were probably perfumed up heavily with a sprayer.
Just a quick shower and perfume,
It was a tight car ride.
The Coco Chanel Mademoiselle that you have spritzed her in does its job. And everyone around you seems not to be taking note of you. As you make your way towards the stairs, however, you see this woman of Indian heritage wearing a long, hanging low-cut white dress with large golden earrings hanging from her ears. She had lightly tanned skin, golden brown eyes, and long, straight brown hair that flowed to the bottom of her back. She stands almost casually by the stairway, but she was keeping a lookout within the room. Specifically, however, she was all eyeing you. This didn't look like Ravenna, though. I could sense you coming a mile away. I know who you are. The Hindi accent that she spoke with made it clear that she had some sort of presence within the room, even though she wasn't necessarily using any visible disciplines that you could see. However, as you make your way closer to her, she gestures toward her hand, only to reveal a slight wound present on the inside. It almost seemed to be gushing forward with this slowly dripping blood in this shape of a half-lidded eye before crushing it within her fist. You must be Ravenna's guest, yes?
Did the perfume
Yes.
give us away?
She
You
told
must
me
be.
to be expecting you, but I saw you already.
See her?
Excuse me?
Can
Take us
we,
to her.
yeah, can we see her?
Yes, you can. You are closer. You can see her.
Wonderful. I am only wondering if are you the person that's going to escort us there, or
Of course. I only do what Mr. Ravenna asks of me.
Well,
Cyran.
it's noble cause.
Cyran. And anyone else who wants to do the role. I'm not going to block it off to just him. Give me either intelligence or wits plus a cult roll. No difficulty, just want to see what happens. if you want to know.
Intelligence.
5 successes.
that.
I would like to know.
I got a 1, but it was a critical.
Okay. Anyone else?
Hang on.
Nope.
Or what was the?
Wits or intelligence plus occult. 2.
Can I do a wits and awareness to see if I see Jose?
Sure. Why not? Why not?
Oh, 3 successes. There we go.
3 successes. So, wait, Cyran, what did you get? 5. Okay. So, Persephone at 1 success. 3. Okay. 3. Wait, it's 1, 2, 3.
Well, that's just to see if I see Jose or not.
So, let me tell you what happens, right?
Yeah.
Ajax, you do see your friend. He's clearly up in the upper echelons of the building. He seems to be having his fun, partying away with Kine. He really doesn't care about the whole politics thing. You know that he was kind of on Ravenna's shit list and the Setite shit list in general because he was down proud Anarch. But he's still a Setite nonetheless, and this was still technically his place too. So you do see him mingling within the large crowd that's there. Everyone that did the occult roll. Persephone, Lyra, you heard of this. This looks kind of like what those Tremere do. This looks like blood sorcery of some sort. Like the blood oozing forward from her hand. That's what that looks like, right? Like that's what it's called, right? You're not really sure, but that's what you think. Miss Viola, you know that this is like blood sorcery and is kind of looking similar to what the Assamites do. You know it's not specifically that. You know it's its own specific branch, that it is something entirely different from what the Tremere and what the Assamites do within the city. You know it's along the same line, of course, but you can't necessarily put a name on it, like what specifically she did. You think maybe it has something to do with Auspex, but not entirely too sure. Cyran, you know exactly what this is. Well, this is similar to what the Tremere and the Assamites do. This is different. The fact that she was a Setite and had some pull here made it clear that that wasn't what she was doing. It was Sedana. It was this type of blood sorcery that only specific Setites could do. A specific line of Setites could do. This was the Datia. This was a specifically Indian offshoot of the Setite bloodline that was rare these nights, if anything. Also, it only brought up more questions. From what you know from your studies, they often didn't embrace women. It looks odd, yet you were certain that this was what it was. But also, a woman like this didn't even consider themselves to be ministry or Setite, let alone even kindred at that. If anything, this was a different calling for them. Still, at the end, it was worshiping almost the same bullshit, but you kept your thoughts to yourself at that one. Are you going to stand around or are you going to follow me?
By all means, lead the way.
Of course. Ajax, before I go upstairs, do you want to see your friend? Do you want to let him know or anything?
I would give him,
He
if he's,
he briefly sees you. He's like, yeah. Yeah. He sees you. He seems a bit too busy partying, though.
I don't want to interrupt.
You go upstairs, and she was just very quiet. Cyran, you knew that unlike other Setites, that the seductive and fun ways that other Setites held themselves, this one embraced more as a duty. As she held herself very stiffly, She felt like this life was merely a stepping stone to the next life, that she was almost cursed, that this was reincarnation, and she was almost less than a Dalit. However, with that being said, you knew that her weird ways didn't necessarily worship Set. It was Shiva, the Hindu god of destruction.
Yeah. Cool. Good. Love that for us.
However, she didn't seem violent or anything of the sort. She just seemed very dutiful, almost like she was bound to do this set job at this set moment. As you make your way upstairs, you come face to face with the Golden Room. You know how exclusive this part of the club is, and for good reason. It's an homage and a homage to the Roaring Twenties with the lavish and plush seating arrangements, dim lights, and chandeliers, topped off with the woman of the hour herself, Ravenna. This Creole woman had long, wavy black hair, chocolate brown skin, high cheekbones, red lips, and was dressed head to toe in what only can be described as a movie star bombshell. She was beautiful. As she saw the woman who led you up the stairs, she blew out the smoke from her lips as the cigarette holder remained stagnant within her gloved hand. Ah, you came. I was wondering if I would come to regret my decision. My name is Ravenna, and as you probably know, I am the head priestess of the ministry here in DC. I've seen your field work, I must say. I'm a fan.
Thank you for such a warm welcome. I'm honored.
Well, what else would you come to expect from us? You are friends, after all. She then looks over towards the woman that led you up the stairs. Sudi, don't tell me you looked like that all the way while leaving them upstairs. You're scaring them. She chastised her, almost as if she was talking down to a dog or something like that. The woman only looked back at her with a hardened look on her face, but didn't say anything. Did she introduce herself? Her name's Sudi.
She did.
Well, I'm glad that she was at least somewhat respectful. Don't just stand there, let them walk in. She moved out of the way over towards her side. You could tell by how closely they were standing that there was something going on in between them, whether they'd like to admit it or not, or more so whether or not Sudi would like to admit it or not. I saw what you did. I must say, I was a bit surprised that Velvet managed to bring you all together.
Well, she is known for pulling the impossible out of her ass somehow, so.
Take one step forward, two steps back, self on fire, kick own ass. That tends to be the mantra these nights.
Have you
No.
seen Velvet?
I can't say I've seen her this night, nor the last few nights, to be quite fair with you. She usually is calling for trying to see if we'd give our continued support. Though I'm sure, as you know, we are Autarchus here. Why? Is she missing?
Well,
Oh, no reason. Just checking in.
It may have something to be related to our fieldwork that has impressed you so much.
Yes. You killed off Miss Katerina Malenkova. I
Keep
must
hearing
say.
that name.
You don't know who that is?
No, we know who that is. We just keep hearing that name.
You've caused quite a stir these past few nights. People haven't been getting their nice bubbly. They get rather irritable when the one thing that keeps them alive isn't in front of their faces.
yes. Well, not entirely sure why it's being blocked off to everybody. are still some confusion on our end too. But I wanted to know why you wanted us personally. I know you're not one to normally get involved, so why the call?
What do you have to offer? Or what do we have to offer you?
You know, I don't really care for Ventru that much, however. You're blunt and to the point. I'll give you that. I've seen your work. I have met Miss Katerina Malenkova once before, and I can say I wasn't quite a fan. To be quite honest with you, I'm surprised anything was done about her. Let alone if your field work, if it did come from Velvet, why she chose to send you there.
It's a
So
question
Chelsea
we
just
have
want
to
to get her nice white hands dirty.
Hmm, her hands aren't that white, but we'll keep it at that.
You know what I mean.
Hmm. Either way, I'll be quite frank with you. For starters, the circulatory system talks a big game, but will not intervene as one of the major heads within this city. We all get the briefings on what's currently going on. They are a non-sectorial organization, and quite frankly, DC scares the circulatory system. If this was a Camarilla city or a city solely held under Vitel, you'll all be crucified, but we currently speak as though it isn't. Let me ask you all something and be honest with me. Do you all believe in prophecies? Something funny?
Of course not. Why would I
No.
think anything would be funny with prophecy? Would I be walking in here arm in arm with these other fine individuals if I believed anything of prophecy?
Well, it's not my specialty. For me, it depends. I agree this may seem inconsistent with materialism on the other end. When your own experience convinces you of their effectiveness, you have to take them into account. I mention this to say Sudi has seen things. She notes now, gesturing over towards the woman who is standing solitary before you all. I may be no anarch, but I know when trouble is brewing. I've heard of you lot. I've heard that you were a coterie that has been hastily stitched together by Velvet. You must be wondering what she was thinking in putting you all together.
It's
Yeah, really.
certainly a question we'll be forcing out of her pretty soon, considering a lot of the trouble she's caused us. So, I mean, if you have any information on the subject, I'd love to hear it.
It's at this point she glances over towards Sudi, and to which then she begins to speak up. Yes, the prickly prick has unknowingly attempted to bury us all.
Ah, so we're not the only group that's gotten, pardon the expression, fucked over.
Yes, but no. Many kindred don't truly understand the traditions of the city, so they are bound to be deceived.
Okay.
Possibly an important question, but indulge me. What was the nature of the relationship between the ministry and Velvet?
Before the end of the last civil war, now Ravenna speaks up. Before the end of the last civil war, you could say that the ministry and the anarch movement were like this, linked, nearly inseparable. When Vitel came in, Sudi said that the air was changing, that if we were to bound our ship to theirs, we would surely sink. With that being said, I didn't want to go under. I declared us a Targus. I went to Vitel, I went to Sasha Vukos themselves, and I said, we take no sides in this matter. They offered us leniency, amnesty, if we were to stay out of it. And we have received just that. However, truth does not do as much good in the world as the appearance of truth does evil. With that being said, as you can see, Velvet has good intentions, but shoddy execution.
You think that you can do better?
Not necessarily. I told you before, I only care about my clan and my clan only. You are similar to us, but again, unlike you, we have a plan.
Well, you did just tell us that truth is a facade to a certain extent, depending on your audience. So I ask again, do you think you can do better? You obviously called us here for a specific reason.
Not necessarily better. However, Shudi said that her insight was worthwhile and was something that you should hear. Truth be told, I don't really understand her insight. However, she has been correctly predicting what has been happening within the city for the past 50 years. I would be a fool if I were to take what she says for granted. So when she says she has something to say, I listen. Does that answer your question?
I think that's the topping on top of the hot dog for now.
Are there
With
any
that-
other important insights we need to hear?
With that, Sudi does step forward. You can still see that her right hand is open, with the incision still made. It seems almost bulbous, the blob that is bulging up from within the palm of her hand. It almost looks exactly like an eye, like it's trying to look around and sense something while she remains almost blank in her expression. The Hecata is in a working allegiance with Vitel. Giovanni may be too dumb to see it, but we are all too aware. He doesn't see it because they are lining his pockets. Do you understand what that means?
Ajax doesn't say anything, but can you sense the unseen as his reading is going on?
Sure. Sure. What specifically are you trying to sense?
I'm trying to sense if this is actually real or if she's trying to pull some shit on us.
I'm gonna do that, but give me a roll with that, and you can add your aspects rating. Wits and insight.
Six with 2 crits.
You can tell, without a doubt in your mind, that even though the Setites are tricky and they lie, this one was telling the truth. There was this grave seriousness with what she was saying. She knew what was happening. She was very straightforward with what she was saying. She wasn't even trying to manipulate her sentences. She was just being honest with you at this moment. And it seems like even though Ravenna didn't have the full context of what she saw, she's telling the truth too. You can tell that they are, to some extent, both incredibly worried about the situation, even though they claim to not take any sides in the matter.
I don't know if I'm the one to muster up a bargain here, but I know there's safety in numbers. If you're worried about the Hecata or whatever they're called, why don't you just like join with us for now?
The anarchs doomed themselves. The prickly prick that you have aligned yourself with unknowingly dooms you all because of her lack of knowledge.
Prickly prick.
Hate
That's
to
Velvet.
be very blunt about this, but you seem to like that. I do believe I might be speaking on behalf of everyone by saying that we've probably fiercely unaligned ourselves with Velvet, but have found kinship, pardon another expression, among us. Whereas we would love to find Velvet and love to get an explanation. We're not working for her anymore.
Velvet goes
We never
missing
had.
these nights. Velvet goes missing these nights, and whether or not you choose to align yourself with her, everyone knows the coterie that she has brought together. They go in the name of a patrician, a flesh crafter, a turncoat, a rose, and a thin blood. Velvet knows your name. Vitel knows your name. I am sure someone under Vukos knows your name as well. I admit, at times I've wondered about Velvet. For a moment I thought she was driven by the same feeling that I am. A great person, when unexpectedly betrayed by the people they love, will often seek to fill the whole world with blind spite. The feeling is indeed familiar.
So let me just see if I understand this correctly. Are you saying you want us to help you take whatever side you want to play in this? Are you asking us to help you in an agenda you've now created?
Ravenna steps forward with this. I do not speak for Sudi. Sudi has her own agendas, those of which I am not aware of. However, I tell you this because if what Sudi says is true, then with the Giovanni within Vitel's pocket, and with a deal that she believes is transpiring between Vitel and Vukos, another civil war is on our hands. More death will be soon to come. If the Hecata is out of the picture, or at least specifically, Damiano Giovanni is out of the picture, things can be changed. Someone who isn't within Vitel's pockets can take the throne instead.
And who exactly would you prefer to take that position?
Anyone who isn't him.
I have a suggestion.
You
I don't
would.
think she'd like it very much. No, not me. Do I look like a Hecata to you just because I go to their book clubs?
Cyran, I'm a fan. I didn't mean it like that. I just know you always have something to say. But when you speak, it echoes.
I have a friend in the clan. We compare notes about dead things.
I have become aware of your kinship over the past few nights.
Yeah, I imagine I'm probably pretty hot gossip after I tore that circulatory system person into several pieces.
Elena is concerned. However,
What
it
about
seems
me
like
doing
about
that?
about you, perhaps, but more so the outcome of what you've done. What comes with that?
Death. That thing
Yes,
we study.
Elena is someone who has put a target on her back. Whether she knows it or not is up to you. Though I assume she is rather aware. Others have an eye out for Damiano's position. Sudi says that she sees Almasi taking control. Sometimes she says that she sees his wife, Victoria, taking control. She sometimes says that she sees Elena destroying the clan in its entirety, but she says that she can't see the outcome. I say this to say that you can push it in whatever direction you wish.
Flexible prophecy is so weird.
I don't understand it. However, whatever Suti says, I am aligned to believe.
And what does she tell you about us?
She says that you can have the potential of either being buried by the city or to be the new holders of it.
Oh, I live in potential. I love potential.
Ooh, control
I
over
thrive
a city.
with potential.
Don't tempt a blue blood with that kind of
Mm.
power.
I don't say it because I don't say
I
it.
would really rather not try to fight with Vikos and Vitel to run things.
She says that that is inevitable, no matter the outcome.
Ah,
So you're telling me that if we say ditch Velvet and help you achieve your goal, there is a potential for control over the city.
Or at least we have your backing.
Perhaps. However, I should mention this. A weakened Hakata, should you have any connections as your friend here does, might lead to whoever will be the next head of the family within DC. And whoever side they will lean on, we will tend to help whoever that is out. If you don't, well, that's your prerogative. I won't throw around cheap threats or insult you. That's below us.
And certainly appreciate that.
At that moment, Sudi chimes in. Your destiny is within your grasp, kindred. Should you refuse, we will think no better nor any worse of you. This apparent insight she has. So she must have had some ability to know what is going on. She doesn't speak that much. She remains still and the most detached. She hardly shows any emotion. And any attempts to elicit a response from her, unless prompted, could be difficult to get. But she understands in general what is going on. However, at that moment, something snaps within her. Her eyes that have remained this just distant look past you all at this moment snap over toward Lyra at this exact moment in time. I've seen your sire. She's looking for you.
And who's that?
The Sabbatans tend to be rather loose with their embraces. However, you were not meant to be a shovelhead, for her schemes at least. She's desperate, sad. She sees the end is coming to her. Perhaps she did it out of pity.
She must have. That's
You'll
really
see.
too bad. I didn't want to be associated with those people at all. Yet here I am.
You're already associated, whether because of your lineage or without it. Though you already know who that is, don't you?
Oh, yes. That one guy.
You will see her within the coming nights. I would suggest you try and kill her before she kills you. Her
Oh,
clan isn't prone to talking things out.
oh, lovely. Well, I got that to look forward to.
Hey, do you need to borrow me?
I don't think I'm going to be killing anyone.
You don't have to. I can.
Nobody's going to be killing anyone. I'm sure there's a way to.
You'd be very surprised, honey.
Oh,
Remember,
I-
Thin Blood, death is cheap. Your life is expensive.
Is it though?
Very much so. If you were to do as I have foreseen you to do, many will grow to fear you. Perhaps those who you currently associate with will grow to fear you.
Wouldn't that be neat?
Maybe when I take off this makeup, they'll get a little scared. That's all.
The pleasantries that you choose to hide behind won't save you when you see her. I give you this foresight now because it could go one of two ways. I would hope it would go the other.
Well, thank you for telling me. I really hope it all works out and nobody gets hurt.
For your sake, I hope that is I hope that is the answer as well.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Miss Persephone,
Yes.
Crane is looking for you.
Of course
That's
she
who
is.
I think it is.
Oh,
Who do you think this is? I don't understand what she's saying. Ravenna pipes in at this moment.
Oh, I think that's my distant cousin.
Oh. Is she stateside?
Pardon?
Is she in the States?
He is still working under her under the employment that you were in. She is vengeful. She has some connections to Lyra, sire.
Yeah, of course she fucking does every single goddamn time. That's great. No, that's awesome. Thank you for that. Really.
She wishes
Could
to
come with a
return
trigger
you.
warning, so I appreciate it.
She wishes to return you towards her pack.
Yeah, I'm sure.
She wishes to do it by force if you refuse.
That's really cute.
A lot of forceful actions stuff towards my coterie mates. Is there anything positive you can chime in there, with a big, fortune teller vending machine you got rolling there?
I mean, I
I
think
don't think that's how
Well,
us
Tom
go.
Hanks action.
I
You know
think
what I'm saying?
possible control of the city is kind of positive, but
Yeah,
I
but
think that is a
Absolute
liability.
Control of the city is a good idea.
Marcus, and I've heard things about the other one that really
Oh yeah,
scared the
you
shit out of
really-
me. Yeah. I'm not
The-
looking forward to
The
seeing that one
Vico
face to face.
scares
Yeah.
me.
I don't even want to say its name.
Perhaps
I
some
think we'd be an
personal,
alternative.
perhaps some personal joys for you. Your sire will meet her end in a few nights, should you see it through.
God, I only wish.
Do
Stupid
you
bitch.
want to borrow me?
We can work something out.
You have my card.
I do.
I would also be remiss to say that Miss Viola, whoever your allies are, I'm sure you wouldn't want me to say them in front of your coterie mates. They remain in your good graces. Some who are under their wing, perhaps not so much, but they wish to follow wherever you should lead them.
Looks over to Ajax. Well, that's certainly good news. And by all means, I am absolutely down to get in full control of the city.
I mean,
I'm
it sounds
sure-
like a much better prize than we were previously offered.
Land? How about an entire city?
I don't offer you prizes. I offer you what I see. Your sectoral squabblings means very little to me.
I don't know about that. You just said that you would back the highest bidder. So
That's
if we end
Ravenna.
up winning
Ravanna did.
at her proposal, she clearly said she listens to anything that she says.
I wish to follow whatever will lead to the most stable outcome.
We all want to live and let live to the
Like
fullest
stability.
extent.
We all like stability. Stability is what's lacking right now, and it's sort of the source of our frustration.
I don't need your politicking. Ravenna's
don't.
here for that.
But you need something from us.
What
Aha.
I choose to follow is something out of your range entirely.
I got a keen eye myself. You'd be highly surprised.
You Toreador hardly do. At that, Ravenna jumps in. Not really liking where this is going, putting a shoulder on her hand, putting a hand on her shoulder as if to say, "Okay, thank you, that's enough."
Okay, well, you want to back the highest bidder or you're most guaranteed to win?
Let me tell you this. I only intervene when I see the need to restore balance.
Mhm.
If you choose to go after the Hecata, I will back you entirely. However, again, if you don't, I shall overlook it, throw it under the rug. Won't even look a fraction of a second towards your eye. Ravenna has guaranteed the ministry's safety within the city. So, whatever you do, that's up to you. I already know what I'm doing.
To be clear, is this more of overt support or is it more covert support? Like, how open is your support going to look?
Did you know that when it comes to the Setites, we tend to have a lot of people within one of those 3-letter agencies?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know, but it's not surprising.
Wouldn't be surprised, in fact.
Have you heard of this one agency called the ATF by any chance?
Oh, are we gonna Waco them?
She puts her hand on her head at that, just like,
Oh,
what I
Cyran.
was meaning to say is that many of our members tend to have some allegiances within the ATF. They could be of some assistance should you choose to go forward. That's all I'm going to say on the matter.
No.
Guys, we take this. We absolutely take this.
I agree.
I'm with the seer on this one. I kind of don't give a fuck if we end up in charge or not, as long as I'm not the one with the target spray painted on my forehead.
That'll be more guaranteed when we take control.
Correct.
Sure,
Lyra,
whatever.
And Lyra, we can definitely, Lyra, we can definitely guarantee you security. Ajax, your business continues. Persephone, your Rolodex grows, darling. And that's all really what I'm here is helping us network.
For sure. I mean, joint networks are always bigger than single ones, I suppose. But listen, I think one of our biggest issues right now is that not only is Velvet missing, but even if she weren't here, she hasn't really been that big of a help to us, and this sounds like better support. Does anyone
100%
disagree?
There's no business like show business.
I mean, we've already dug ourselves pretty deep into this one, and our only other source of help is, again, hiding from us. So I say we take this deal.
I do too.
Is there anything else that you need from Suti before I allow you to go your separate ways?
Just one question. Would you possibly have any information as to Velvet's current whereabouts, or where she's been disappearing to, at least?
I hear things. I know that she is working with that Samitsi from Tampa, that she is wanting her active support. She thinks that because she wrangled Tampa under control, that she could perhaps do the same with her. That her assistance will come at a price, but a price she's willing to pay. What she forgets to take in mind is that, according to Suti, Anishka's looking towards having the city under her control with an iron fist. Her enemies are the same as yours, but she has other plans for the city.
Like what?
If you know how Tampa is ran, then that can be a bit of some insight into how she sees it. With that being said, Ravenna said that someone has took her hostage. I can't say for sure. She even doesn't know where, but she says that either the Thin Bloods have taken her hostage, or Vitel himself has taken her hostage. I don't really care for how that looks for either side. For your sake, I would hope it's the one that is prone to set themselves on fire.
Wait, Velvet was taken?
That's what she said. Again, I don't know. I don't have whatever mysterious voodoo that she has, but that's what she says.
And possibly by Thin Bloods.
Possibly by Thin Bloods, the ones that are aligned with the Sabbat.
Well, I have a guesstimation how we're going to run into Lyra Cyrus soon. Another Russian whore. That's great.
At that moment, you say that. Like you hear Sudi say, Versailles is from Cuba.
Not who I was talking about.
Today's the episode of not understanding accents, apparently. So
Not the person I was referencing.
The missile crisis, you know.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
didn't picture her as
Might as well
Russian.
call me this anyway.
I do have one question. Mostly curious, because you got a prophecy for everybody else, not for me.
I choose not to make myself frequent with the Adlerist.
Ooh, and the
What?
plot thickens.
I'm afraid you've lost me.
Too bad, because I've seen you.
All right,
I
one of
just
you
need to
has to
grab
have
this.
auspex.
Yeah, I've already been checking, and he would turn and look at Cyran, and he already had sensed the unseen up.
Though
You gotta look at my soul.
though you don't
That's
see.
not how it works.
Oh yeah,
bruh.
no, that's not. I don't think you have that one on you yet.
That's not how it works. But who have you been using as a Capri Sun? And that should probably be a conversation that we should have outside of this room.
Dead people.
Well, obviously, if not, you
Supposedly.
did. I suggest you clamp up and speak to the attorney on this one.
The colors of all your souls change after this. I
Oh,
don't
that's
need
neat.
foresight to see that.
As a lawyer, I'm definitely going to say exercise your right to stay silent. For now.
American laws have no use here, but whatever suits your fancy, I
Oh,
suppose.
I disagree. I think they have a lot of use for me here, but depends how you use them.
American laws are very much like guidelines. They can be stretched and formatted and interpreted. In that case, actually, it does make them like the Bible, despite America's wanting to separate or unite church and state. So interpretation is absolutely everything when it comes to American law.
I
as
don't
is
read.
kindred law.
I don't read works of fiction, but thank you.
Neither do I. I gave up the Bible years ago and I had on life.
I was talking about the Constitution, but okay.
Oh, yes.
Great.
Is there anything else you need from me before Ravenna asks you to leave?
We were offered possible refreshment.
Ravenna claps her hands. At that moment, you see a woman come up the stairs. Long black hair, pale skin, bright blue eyes with eyeshadow basically covering her face. She has what is almost akin to a Playboy bunny outfit on, but she holds a tray up in her hand with some drinks, and she has a red ribbon wrapped around her neck. Well, I would offer either you have one of our more vegan supplements, or you can take directly from Angela right here. I would ask that you simply don't kill her.
That's very generous of you.
Vegan? As if it's made from animals?
We do have those refreshments as well. We tend to go cruelty-free with how we get our supplies.
Oh, excellent. May I have one of those, please?
Angela goes ahead and, takes out another bottle and pours animal blood. It is refined, almost like it's like one of the more rare animals that you've ever smelled. It's a delicacy before you. It's good stock, quite literally.
I'll drink it.
What would the rest of you like?
I'm of a clan of a particular taste, if you get what I mean. Has, if I may ask, has Angela done anything, let's say, more than weed, per se? Or is there someone who's gotten the really good hard stuff?
All my stock, I try to limit the amount of drugs and alcohol they have in their system. However, if you wish to have something of that sort, that can be arranged.
And see all the politicians on the way in?
Oh, yes. Some of the tastiest snacks I've seen in a good long time.
I'm not terribly thirsty.
Not terribly, but
I mean,
you're not even peckish.
I have stock of trust fund babies, wannabe politicians from American University, wannabe lawyers from Georgetown.
do you have dead people?
Pardon?
Unless
He is
you have
also-
dead people, I am not interested.
I do not keep corpses on hand here, no.
Ah,
That was Katerina's job before she vanished, let's say.
Before she met her untimely end.
Yes.
Oh, that's funny.
Well,
That is
I mean, I do love the desperate taste of AU students when they realize they're not going to make anything of themselves. So if you've got one of those, I could
I
eat.
think you're joining me with the Georgetown graduates.
Yeah.
Well,
wow.
I have two women named Jasmine and Diana down there. I'm sure they will suit your taste.
Oh gosh, I hope they didn't recognize me. I
It
mean,
won't
what?
matter for much longer.
Dear.
Sorry. I think the politically apathetic are just a little too bland for my taste. So if you'll join me, Viola, I think I should head downstairs, yeah?
And she sort of offers her hand and just smiles delicately at you.
Persephone takes her hand as they head downstairs.
Remember,
Excuse us.
red ribbon. Say that 10 times fast. Red ribbon.
Red ribbon.
Wet women.
It's rabbit season. Mr. Toreador.
Haven't called worse.
Would you like any of my stock or would you like something else?
That is a very interesting question as he eyes over the server. I think this one will do just nicely.
Very well. Angela? She smiles over towards you before taking your hand and leading you away to a more secluded room. Mr. Obertus, it seems like we're the only ones left, along with Lyra, who, I must say I'm a bit interested in you two.
What, us?
Yeah, you two.
Me?
You two have been the most quiet compared to your compatriots. Let's say that.
I have a bad tendency to offend people.
That tends to be the case for those who would consider themselves to be high clans. However, I know you may identify as such, but you are among family. Let's say that.
Oh. Honestly, the person who I have felt closest to, in spite of the weird remark about my supposed dietary habits, is Sudi. I get that.
Glances over towards you.
I get
There's-
the whole you care about learning and not much else. And I respect that.
Yes, I've been on this world for centuries now. I've seen the changes. I've even predicted Ravnos coming. Even within my own home. But I digress. I've invited you here, in part on Ravenna's good word, because this can end one of two ways. You gain everything you wish, or you lose all of it. Neonates don't last long in this city.
Nope.
Thin bloods last even shorter within this city, as I'm sure your friends would know.
What friends?
Do you want me to say his name aloud, or would you rather keep that to yourself?
He's more of an acquaintance, really. He's just been nice and pleasant, and I really don't think he's like the other Sabhat. Not like I've seen. But can never be
Do
too
I know
sure.
him?
Yes.
Who is it? Come on, tell. Now I'm curious.
Storyteller, what was his name again?
David Mercer.
David Mercer. Yes.
David Mercer.
Well, that's going on. Persephone. Well, you can, if you want to say the name, Lyra, then go ahead. Persephone. Uh, Persephone. Ajax. Viola. I assume you knocked off a. I assume you don't kill them.
No, I'm not looking to cause a
Disagree.
scene, especially
No.
with such hospitality.
A lot of commitment there.
With that being said, you get your fill. The blood is of the prime quality. It tastes like honey, freshly made, just dripping down your throat. It is slick, yet almost like this honeyed wine that was made fresh from like the countryside of France. It was not old, it was definitely new, but there was a quality to it. It was clear that Ravenna kept her stock rather well. Lyra, do you say who it is?
Well, Cyran, his name's David Mercer. And to me, he sounds like a guy that kind of sticks up for the little guy in this whole situation, which is the Thin Bloods.
I'm ringing any
Since
bells.
that's what I am, I naturally gravitated towards him.
Yeah, that's
However,
fair.
if he's like anything that I saw of the Sabbat back there, he's no
Back-
friend of mine, that's for sure.
Back where?
Back at the circulatory system.
Oh, those. Well, I guess I can't say for sure they weren't Sabbat, but I'm pretty sure that they were just doing whatever.
You can do a streetwise and wits, or you could do an occult wits. I'll let you do either or. I'll be
I will
nice.
absolutely take the occult.
Tell me what you
All
get.
right. Seven. 4 of those successes being from critical.
You know the name David Mercer. He was the leader of the Sabbat Thin Bloods within the city. There was another leader of the Sabbats of the Thin Bloods under Velvet, but she was nice, frail, an AU student. Very much daisies, roses, and flower petals. David Mercer, on the other end, was a Thin Blood who believed staunchly that he has removed all the chains of his elders by being a Thin Blood. Coupled along with that, he is known for being rather cutthroat. He is proud of being a Thin Blood. His gang is proud of being Thin Bloods. With that being said, they will go out of their way to kill any full-blooded vampires they see. If you are in their turf, you are likely to be the victim of being set on fire, or being the victim of having one of them self-immolate in front of you. However, David has been known to be a bit of a glutton for pain. He believes that pain makes him stronger. With that being said, hurting himself and those around him is something that he specializes in. However, he believes firmly in the fact that Thin Bloods are above everyone else. If anything, he also sees the act of diablerie in and of itself as utterly revolting, and has been known to kill Thin Bloods that have diablerized their sires or have diablerized anyone within a second. You also know that even though they are Sabbat on paper, Sasha Vukos doesn't claim responsibility for them.
Do you think Velvet's with him? Or maybe he would know about what happened to her?
Oh, if he's got Velvet, he's either hoping for some kind of political leverage, or he's going to make killing her some big grand political display.
maybe I can pay him a visit. I wouldn't want you guys around.
Oh
in
no,
case
no,
he's used as a threat.
we collectively we shouldn't go there. That's how we get like got. You are safe going there. Which is a bit of a novelty for Kindred, I gotta tell you. Normally that is not a thing I say to Thin Bloods.
Well, that's good. I mean, maybe I could find out what's going on.
Maybe. I mean, he'd probably talk to you at least. I don't know how closely your Kindred politics line up, but I mean, being a Thin Blood does probably put you much higher on his list than most of the city.
I have a feeling they don't line up at all because I really don't want to live my life.
Not a fan of violent Thin Blood supremacy?
No, not really.
By the way, the rest of you guys, you can come up the stairs. I'm sure you're done with your drink right now.
As I'm feeding, I'm going to use Lingering Kiss. To seal that.
On someone else's herd? Wow.
I want to keep an ear and an eye in this place. So we'll be seeing each other again.
Wow.
Okay. Angela seems enamored with you.
Why wouldn't she? Come on.
She wants to know everything about you. She wants to know your name. She wants to know where are you from. She wants to know everything. She just wants to be with you.
Do I really wash my whites and colors together or not? All the good stuff.
If you want, you could try pull away from her, but she's like that.
Well, sure. I would actually escort her upstairs.
Okay. So you all walk upstairs. Are you guys still talking about little friends that Lyra has?
I think we're just like wrapped up what we're saying. And then
Yeah.
Lyra has the idea of going to meet him alone. So,
I would recommend. Sudi begins to speak up with all of you there. If you choose to see your friend, do it quickly. Couple along with this, if you are going to go after the Hakata, do it quickly before Vitel furthers his grip.
Makes sense.
you think I should head out tonight?
I do not put a timeline on what your actions are. I just suggest what I think you should do.
How early or how late is it, Storyteller?
How early or how late? That
Yeah.
depends on how quickly you mobilize. If you break into the Hikata mansion and domain, then I would recommend you come prepared. Have a
Oh, no.
few more friends
I was just
outside
put
of
the Storyteller like time-wise.
time-wise. I would say half a week. I would say half a week.
I meant in the
What
current
time
evening.
we are in right now?
What
Oh,
time is
like-
it?
What time is it?
Are
Oh,
we getting
Yeah,
close
sorry.
to morning time?
I still love you. I still love
I would say that you have maybe 3 hours left.
you. Okay.
So if you want, you have a bit of time to do your little politicking if you want, or to talk more to them, but you're not mobilizing anything tonight.
Just making sure.
Okay.
Still could, kind of. Just gotta put my layers back on.
I guess we're heading back to the car. I mean, I don't know about you, Persephone, but I'm slated completely.
Oh, no, I'm stuffed. That was delicious.
Mm.
Thank you for dinner, by the way.
Absolutely. Thank
Of
you.
Of course, I would be a horrible host if I didn't offer. As as she says that, you can see Angela just like holding on to Ajax's arm, just like
Ah, leftovers.
Mm.
she like grasps on tightly, but
I'll have to come back to visit often. You do have quite a venue here.
Perhaps I should remind her of who she works for then.
Well, you guys could always stop by my establishment. You know, if we're going to eventually be hanging out more often.
Like, you can see Angela just like, and then she's just like, and you can see Ravenna just click her tongue. Not quite sure. However,
A change in scenery might do you some good.
I would say perhaps in that scenery you would know your place. However, I don't judge on what toreadors tend to do. Remember, my act of pleasantries isn't to be taken lightly. If you try to take some of my things, I won't act that kindly. Remember, what Sudi wants isn't what I want. And what I want isn't what Sudi wants.
You could just come to hang out.
I'm sure hanging out isn't what you had in mind.
I actually did. Again, if this is going to work out, it would be nice to, you know, see the city a little bit more, expand.
Talk.
Yeah.
I've been here
It's all
for
about
150 years.
Mm-hmm.
I've been around the city longer than you've been alive.
Consider it an open invitation, not expecting you to take it right away.
Absolutely.
This seems to be, she has her gaze more pointed towards Ajax, almost as if warning him slightly. She's trying to give you a warning. Well, she is by no means violent. Sudi might be. Let's just put it like that.
Well, as stated by my attorney, the invitation is open.
Very well. Should any of you need a safe haven, I can offer that to you as well.
And likewise.
I tend not to need it. However, if you need any supplies or anything, I am a call away. I'm sure your Duskborn, is that what you call yourselves now? I'm sure your Duskborns, your Duskborn already has my number.
Well, your generosity is definitely appreciated. I know that's rare, so thank you.
You're very welcome. Is there anything else you should need?
Not off the top of my head, but my assistant will give you a call if we ever think of anything.
I'm still confused about the diablerie thing, but I don't think I'm going to get a straight answer.
I'll be quite frank with you. I don't know what Sudi sees either. I just stay out of that.
Yeah, that's fair. Prophecy is an art, not a science.
It doesn't make sense to me. She doesn't even consider herself kindred. She like whispers this over towards you as if it was a big secret, but Sudi seems unaffected, unbothered.
Well, again, thank you for the call.
Of course. If there's nothing else, you may leave now.
Have a
We will
lovely
stop
night.
taking advantage of your hospitality.
Thank you. Have a nice night, kindred.
As they're talking, Ajax is exchanging numbers, you know,
With Angela.
pleasantries,
With Angela.
a little, just, you know, making sure he has a tether on, let's call her Miss September.
And like that, yet another human doesn't have a name in this chronicle.
Boom. A Playboy bunny.
You all walk down the stairs. You can see the fervor and the excitement that seems to go along with it. Still very classy and in touch, but still, there was fun to be had. You can stay here if you wish, or you can travel out into the city.
I think there's some things we need to discuss. Probably without company. What do you guys think?
And
Then
then
we could just
some-
drive around the car.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
It is pretty safe in there.
I want to sweep the
Plus-
back, like the trunk, just make sure there's not a nos in there. You never know.
Oh,
Plus-
absolutely.
These people can also do that.
We'll just make sure. And James works for me. He is under the strictest confidence.
Wonderful. Well, then let's get moving.
All right.
So the car is still parked out front. You see Steven still there waiting by the side of the car.
I would ask him to pop the trunk. Just for shits and giggles. Check if there's a tie iron back there and give it a couple of fucking waves.
He
Since Cyran got me kind of paranoid now.
he looks over towards Viola, but doesn't really say anything. He just goes ahead and does it.
Yeah.
Like-
Just a little.
If he looks over at Viola, she's just like, let them.
He goes ahead and
Try to
does,
sniff around, instead of looking silly.
Hey, I'm just looking out, you know?
Obviously, it can cover all 5 senses if you're good enough.
Can it cover tire iron?
he goes ahead, pops it open. You do see that tire iron in there, but it's just like he just looks around, just like, is this what you wanted? Like,
Humor me. And he picks it up and he, gives it a good wave across. Am I thumping into anything?
you're like waving it wildly around the air. You can see the line, like the long line of people that is still standing outside of the
I don't
building.
give a
mind
fuck
you.
what they think.
Just like you can see them looking over, just like what the fuck's going on over there. but they remain uninfected. A lot of them more so. They're just like, look at this fucking guy.
Ooh, can I do something?
What do you do?
I'll lower Ajax's hand and be like, okay, this is something I can help with here. And I'll get Levi to do a sniff around the car.
Ooh.
Maybe an animal handling check or whatever.
So you're adorable doggo. Can't really see anything. Can't really find anything. Sniffs around, goes under, like continues to circle around, but he doesn't smell anything. Nothing seems to be of importance to him. He just comes right back to your side. His tail is wagging. He just seems happy.
He just
Well,
eyes Cyran.
He's
Why you
just-
fucking with me, man? As he tosses it
Because-
back into the trunk.
Because I can do that.
Is that what this is about?
I just told him that he should check for Nosferatu in the trunk.
If we're going to have important conversations, and we just came from someplace a little while ago that said everything is bugged and half the city's fucking listening to you, I don't think people really want to know about who he's been using as a Caprice son. You know what I mean? So just trying to fucking keep shit under wraps,
Get in the car.
Fine.
Yeah.
Everyone knows.
It's
No, my car. That's what I say. Get in the car.
well, at least it's Fido safe, so
Ma'am, is there
Fine, darling.
anywhere in particular you would like me to drive you to?
Maybe my house, so I can go home.
This one's got some balls. I like it.
Would you like me to drop your associates off, miss?
Well, associate. Apparently, it's a school day tomorrow.
It is.
Georgetown is far enough away. I think we can fit a conversation in between that time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll take you home.
Very well.
gives the address. Or actually, she's just gonna be like,
You're living
"Give me
on
the address."
campus in the Georgetown campus.
No, I have an apartment, but it's like a 10-minute walk away from Georgetown. So
Okay. Okay, so he gets into the car, he starts the engine again. It's like, are we all ready to go?
Sure.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So as you all pile in, he begins to drive off on his way towards Georgetown.
I have some news.
Oh,
Is it gonna top that shit?
No, probably. Well, I don't know. I was telling Cyran that I might know somebody that knows something about Velvet, so I'll go
Ooh.
see him.
Yeah, she's friends. Well, I say friends. She is acquainted with Mr. Set Himself on Fire.
Really?
Well,
The thin blood leader of the Sabbat, apparently. I didn't really know that much about him, but
Well,
he's made himself friendly towards me.
he says he's Sabbat.
that's a horse of a different color now, isn't it?
and you're just gonna go talk with him?
Well, he'd kill the rest of us.
Yeah, that's
Maybe he
true.
knows something about Velvet, and I think I'd be probably one of the safer ones around this guy. So,
Okay.
Well, look at you stepping up.
I mean, once we get control of the city, you guys can take my shareholder.
Once we get control of the city, and this is coming from somebody a fortnight ago that didn't want anything to do with any of this.
That's what I'm saying. You guys can have my shareholder parts. As
Your
long as
shareholder
you're
parts.
considerate with the human population and I can go about my life again, I should be okay.
If you're willing to step into the lion's mouth on your own and have this conversation, I can't speak for anybody else in this vehicle, but I would think you would earn not only just a little bit of respect, but whatever chunk. I'm not looking to take that from you.
I mean, I already respect that you were planning on doing that anyways. So, again, it's up to you, but the offer is there.
I think we just need to get to the bottom of this. I'm not really looking for all your respect, but it's nice to have, I suppose. I mean, who'd want to hurt old Lyra, right?
You'd be very surprised.
I know.
Well, speaking of the giant Nosferatu-sized elephant in the room, that was kind of insane. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Oh, just somebody a little too much time using Auspex.
And he'd look over to Cyran.
That's fun. This was
You
winter.
want to, I'm not looking to pry into your shit, but at the same time, I'm also not looking to become a snack. You want to give us a little heads up
Look,
as to what's up?
I don't know what the deal is with calling me a Diablerist. I've been in packs with them before. I've taken extensive notes on the psychological effects of it before, but it's always been a step removed. It has never been about me having a ride-along because I ate somebody. It's always been observing somebody else with a ride-along having eaten somebody.
So it's always secondhand smoke for you, is what you're saying.
Oh yeah, there was this neat kindred out of Montreal, kin of a packmate named Zed. He did not have a good time. He ate an Alistair. Didn't end well for him.
Okay. Well, again, that was insane.
Oh.
I mean, apparently Velvet's been kidnapped, which is hysterical. And I'm not going to say I wasn't surprised that the city is like pretty unstable. It has been for a very long time, but I didn't realize we were this close.
I mean, I'm real curious about what the Civil War is going to look like if Vikos and Vitel are shaking hands about it already.
This is what I'm saying.
A little
What are they
scary.
going to do? Just roll the anarchs who aren't affiliated with Vitel? Like
I don't-
find the one blue blood who still claims allegiance to the Ivory Tower and just shit in his cornflakes? Like, what war would that be?
Speaking of royal vitae, as he would turn over to Viola, what's your opinion about all this?
My clan is all about control. I'm all about control. We're in a point where we can make this city ours. I'm still on that. I'm sort of single-mindedly determined on that. More than
Riding the high, huh?
kind of. Also, Allison was very, very tasty.
Mhm.
And I'm really just kind of reeling from that. What I can definitely say in response actually to you, Lyra, it's not necessarily bugged me per se just now, but you say you're willing to go back to your life. Whether your transformation or your embrace has been full or not, your life is forever changed. It's time you start to embrace it. And yes, I agree with Ajax on this one because I kind of like some agency in what I say. I do appreciate you speaking on my behalf because I agree with you. But I would like to say, Lyra, you go into the lion's den, you earn the lion's share. That's how it works. You're free to do with it whatever you like, but that's to be discussed later. For the time being, we all get equal share.
I just find it all kind of senseless. At least I had a goal and I could help people as a human. I could still do that. Even better now, since I have the stamina as a kindred of sorts.
Right, but you're undead now, which means the rules are
Mostly.
different. Mostly. Which means the rules are a little bit different. And having some control, even if it's just over the small space you want to use to help people, that goes a very, very long way.
For kindred and kind alike.
I mean, besides,
Just-
imagine the optics. It looks like we just took land away from some thin blood. Can't have that.
No.
And if you truly want to go back and think everything can go back to the way it was, unless our friend here does some major work on you post resubmittal into society, people already know who you are. So even if you become kind again, who says people aren't going to continue to fuck with you? You might as well keep that chunk.
I'd like to retain some sort of normalcy if I can.
It's a little too late for that.
I don't think so. But
You got a lot of
I will live
eyes
the-
on you right now.
I don't know why or how or why people want to look at me of all people, but
You pulled a couple of dozen people out of a building that were in a really bad way, and you pissed off a lot of people. I'm not saying it was right or wrong. Morals are out the window in that situation. It's in the past. I will tell you, we're all sucked into that now, whether you like it or not. And you can't just turn and go back to your old life and expect people to stop hugging with you because of that. You pissed off a couple people.
I know I can't return to my life, but my goals are made a little easier now that I'm not dying,
Sure.
actively dying. So that's what I'll continue to do.
Right. Well,
Hopefully.
Goals.
on the vein of not dying, it seems like our next couple of steps to figuring out how to solve this mess is figuring out who the hell took Velvet, right? And where she's at. And it sounds like not only are you going to be talking to a thin blood, but probably all those really fun, super scary prophecies we all just read are about to tie into that the next few days. Anybody have any ideas on any way to go about this that doesn't probably end in one of us dying?
If I may,
Mhm.
if I may interject, I would recommend perhaps getting in contact with any friends, associates that you may have. Whether they like you or not, they should see that the problem is apparent when it comes to what is going to come of this city within the next few nights. I wouldn't say that Congress should know of your happenings, but I am sure that if there are as many friends as there are within the FBI and Justice Department, I would say that some of them should be within Congress as well, or within any other three-letter agency within the city. Perhaps that would be your next stop. If you know anyone, of course.
Right. Well, I mean, as Viola did point out earlier, I do have quite the Rolodex of people I could possibly call.
Ever expanding.
Ever expanding. I can see if I can get any information out of them, but again, I ask any of you.
I could ask my friend in the Hakata if she wants us to roll that guy so she can take over.
And
Okay.
then, actually, Cyran, we may be able to borrow you then.
I'll stick to my plan of meeting up with my thin blood contact.
I respect you want to go alone, but please try to record that meeting or something.
Yeah, we can't be that. Okay. Actually, on the topic of you being there and that being a safe place for you, in the event that your sire does show up looking for you, if that shit goes sideways, which I'm not saying it will, I just strongly suspect it will, and we're not there and you don't know where we are and you're close to that territory, fucking get there. Because they will guard you. Which, again, unique thing for me to say to a thin blood, but like, wow. I have not seen people set themselves on fire fucking with kindred before, but that's a pretty novel concept.
Well, if she does decide to, meet up with me and I'm there, then I'm pretty safe. So
Yeah, that is my concern.
At that, you managed to get to Lyra's apartment. I believe this is
you
your
all don't
stop.
remember where I live. Wait, I don't have that ability. Have a good night, everybody.
The doggo hops out of the car too.
Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Pass the test, do the, what are you, I don't know, the MCAT? I haven't been to kind school in years.
Yeah, she'll hop out. And
Do good, make good choices. There, we've done the parental thing. It's fine.
Don't drink the juice at parties, okay?
don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Jungle juice.
Mm-hmm. Shit's nasty.
I don't think we're in Guyana, he says as he begins to drive off. At that, those of you in the car, with the exception of Persephone, I'm sorry. Give me a dice roll, 5 dice.
5 dice.
It's that technology, man. You don't have a system on you right now.
Look, I gave her the night off. She gets jumpy when things happen.
3, 2. Anyone else? Anyone can top that? 4.
Damn.
Cyran,
Talk to me.
you get a call. On the other end of the line, you hear a gravelly and raspy voice on the other end. So, you work with the snakes now? I suppose you all are anarchs at heart.
Who is this?
I'm just an observer at the end of the night.
Are you about to ask me if my refrigerator is running?
No, that's a bit too childish.
Yeah, so is not telling me your name, asshole. Who is this?
The
Just
speaker-
just an associate. That's all. Plus, how am I at fault when the rest of the city's already following you?
So if I Google just an associate, will I find you?
Sure. Me and the rest of the dictionary, right?
Is your picture in it? Next to just an associate?
Who are you talking to, Sarah?
I have no idea. That's what I'm trying to find out.
Maybe their name is Justin Associate.
I'm a girl asshole. I just hope you know that.
Hey, we don't have to be gender conforming with names.
Look. Can you give me a hint? Can you give me a first letter, maybe?
All in due time, but I think your venture friend already knows.
Dude, are you about to play some kind of like game or something? Like,
Look,
I got it. It's Dr. Claw. Where's the cat?
that's who it is.
I'll get you, Gadget.
God.
I wasn't born in the 80s, dipshit. Anyway,
What's wrong with the
And
80s?
neither was
What
I.
is wrong with the 80s? Who are you talking to?
Dude, is that John Wick on the phone or what's happening
It's
over there?
John Wick. We just lost the dog.
Cyran hangs up.
just.
God,
I can't believe they made fun of the 80s.
Okay, who's okay? You know what? Viola. Ajax, roll me 5 dice.
Friend zero, no.
I don't think you can see that from the other.
Happens. This is what happens.
What do you want us to roll?
You call,
5
that was
dice.
supposed to be for
No.
Viola.
Oh, God, with the 5 dice.
Freaking hilarious.
Half that card's about to get torn the fuck up, isn't it?
I am just not doing well. What?
What? What? Roll off again. Let's see what happens.
Fuck.
Please, Viola, dear God, get the call.
Lyra's in the car, and all of a sudden you don't know how to get better.
I suck. Oof.
Viola, you get a phone call.
Oh, God. Doobie, doobie, doo.
Your friend's a fucking asshole. I hope you know that.
First of all, do I recognize the number before I answer?
Yes.
Uh,
You do know who this is, fortunately.
Wow.
Hello.
Your fucking friend's a fucking asshole. You know that, right?
Well, you called Cyran. What do you think?
Ooh, they're talking about you.
You all are a bunch of high clans. I thought you had a bit more class than that.
I live in a morgue.
And I live in a fucking sewer.
Ooh.
All right.
So we
Where's the
have
tie
that
iron?
in common.
All right. Would you calm down? I'm in front of everyone at the moment. This is not the time for this conversation.
I'm just here to tell you that some stones get turned and others don't. And that, according to my friend, that many are broken and very few are accustomed to being repaired. That's my 2 cents, okay, Blue Blood?
Yes, that is your 2 cents, sewer rat. Now then, is there anything important you would like me to cover right now? Or any requests you have, and we can carry this conversation at another time? Or do I just hang up the call?
I'll see you tomorrow night.
Wonderful. You know how to reach me.
The line goes though.
so what did Ratatouille have to say?
He says he prefers redheads. Well,
Damn.
really doesn't like you, Cyran.
Well,
What's
didn't
not
make
to
a great
like?
first impression.
Come
But
on,
in
what's
my
not to like?
defense, I received a call from a number I didn't recognize, and they started talking cryptic shit immediately. What am I gonna do?
You started talking, and
Hospitality is a two-way street. If the guest is not hospitable, then the host isn't either.
Probably take that into consideration.
Yeah, that's why I shut the fuck up when we were with the Setites. I knew that if I opened my mouth, I was going to say something that was going to upset them.
to be fair,
It's a good strategy.
Cyran is right. He can only cork that for so long. So it was bound to blow.
No, there is just a concern that needs to be addressed that I will take care of tomorrow in a private matter.
All right.
At that, you hear
Offered their 2 cents.
You hear the driver up from the front. To be fair, from what I've studied of this city, I wasn't aware that the Nosferatu were still in it. They were driven out a few decades ago, along with the rest of the Camarilla, though that need not be said.
Yeah, but are the Nosferatu ever really gone?
I was about to say, they're kind of like cockroaches. They never really seem to die off, do they?
I suppose they don't. Have to bring the mattress to get rid of them, right?
Look, the Inquisition rolled over the Tremere. They burned down the Vienna Chantry. They burned down Shreknet. One of those two clans is doing much better than the other right now.
At that is where we'll end our vampire game for the night. I'm content to play the martyr, to wear the dunce cap here at school. For every tear I shed, I'll barter to death. I'll be no more a fool. Good night, kindred. Would anyone like to give their ats? I have a great cast here with me. They put up with whatever was going tonight. Please introduce yourselves.
Well, my name is Olivia Nicey. I play Persephone Fair. You guys can find me at LivtasticNerd99 on TikTok. It's LivtasticNerd99 on TikTok, or at LivtasticNerd on Instagram. It's where I'm the most active. So if you guys want to come see some of my content, I actually post a lot about Marvel and Marvel comic books. So if you're interested in superheroes or talking nerdy movies, you can find me over there.
Yow, I have been a Toreador this evening, but normally you can find me as a blue blood in real life. I am Michael Walsh, otherwise known as Venture1399 on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on several channels. Please hit me up on my link tree. I won't take up any of these fine individuals' time with any of those exploratives. However, I love this game. That's the best thing I can tell y'all. I have a hell of a time every other Sunday here. Stay tuned. There are things up and coming from multiple channels, as well as a really nice community event coming up. I don't want to spoil anything.
Hi, my name is Rose. I played the wonderfully sassy control freak that is Viola, aka the Bus. I am found on social medias at Rose_Bulbasaur on Twitter and Instagram, and then just at Rose Bulbasaur on TikTok. Not only am I a drag personality and lip syncer and avid AP player, but I am also here to I'm a partner with Martlet Games as well as Lagniappe Gaming. I am a player with them. For Martlet Games, we have Darthtober coming up, and Darth Generico has gladly taken up a majority of his time to bring you a whole selection of spooky, scary games happening all over October. One game that I'm going to be in near the end is called Insert Coin. It is our, let's see if I can get this right, Vancouver the Masquerade Mortals homebrew one-shot that takes place in the 1980s. Very fun, such a fun time. We just recorded it. It is such a good time. That is going to be on the 30th of October, but also keep an eye on our pages. We'll be pushing and promoting a whole bunch of different stuff from there. Vampire the Masquerade, Hunter, 10 Candles, Game of Evil Dead played live for everyone. Like, we got a whole bunch of events planned for the spooky, scary season. So keep an eye on my socials for that. All right, who's next?
I'll go. Hi everyone, I'm Haley, also known as babe_blade666 on the internet. You can find me on Instagram. Do a little bit of TikToking, not too much though, but I'm there. And I'm here every other Sunday. And then next Saturday, I'm going to be on Onyx Path's channel doing Trinity Aeon Continuum. It's a fun game. I dress up as a cyborg. And I'm sure we're going to be resuming our Changeling game soon on Vancouver by Night. So I'm excited for that.
There we are.
And yeah, this is a really fun game. I really enjoy it. Coming here every other Sunday.
Hi, I am Joe. I played Cyran Obertus this evening. I am not on social media.
We should get you on social media.
Yes.
Join another cult.
Keep me off the blue bird. I do not want to see the bird.
Caw.
Hello, I am Michaela Bethune, otherwise known as Cosmic__Dasai. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram and Tumblr because I was one of those people in high school. I storytell this lovely game with people, and I have some stuff in the works. And if these lovely people keep on harassing me, maybe season 2 after this is done. But that's our lovely game. I want to say thank you to everyone here, and thank you for everyone behind the scenes that is helping me with this, namely our tech guy who is helping us right now at this moment because I am dumb and don't understand crap about Twitch. He's great. Thanks, Jim.
Jim. Yay.
Bye.
Staying stealth.
Everyone just jazz hands and just great.